You're welcome again to this channel, Excellent TV, where we bring to you news in Nigeria and beyond. If this is your first time visiting this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to get notified every time we upload new videos. As you're doing so, may God Almighty bless you richly. Amen. Now, quickly let's go to the news of today, which says, why Nigeria must break up. This is coming from Mr. Remi Oyeyemi. We all want to have our nation state where we can hold people accountable. We need to do away with the protective evil umbrella that Nigeria spreads over the evildoers in our respective nations. We ought to stop pretending that we want Nigeria. Nigeria must break up. We all need to work towards this. It is the best option available. He further said, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common with unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of education failures. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. By Calvin Coolidge. To choose the right moment in which to act is the great art of man. That is a quote by Napoleon Bonaparte. I have been watching the fast pace with which the so-called country of Nigeria has been trembling towards tragedy. I have been watching the tragedy it has become for its people. I have been watching the disgrace it has become for those who carry its green passports. I have reached the conclusion that salvaging Nigeria is a mission impossible. I have reached the conclusion that breaking up Nigeria is the only viable option. There is no other way out. I am aware that there are many who mouth unity every day when in fact they do not believe in it. I am aware there are people who keep chanting the tribalism is our bane, when indeed it is our real strength. I am aware that most of us like to be politically correct and say Nigeria must unite, when in fact we all know that breaking it up is the best thing for the peoples of this geographical expression. I looked through the various components, ethnic groups in Nigeria, and I'm not able to identify a single one that expressed satisfaction. The Edo is not satisfied, the Momoye is not satisfied, the Ibibio is not satisfied, the Efik is not satisfied, the Anago is not satisfied, the Ijo is not satisfied, the Igbo is not satisfied, the Nope is not satisfied, the Agatu is not satisfied, the Magale is not satisfied, the Yoruba is not satisfied, the Kataf is not satisfied, the Kanuri is not satisfied, the Ogoni is not satisfied, the Kare Kare is not satisfied, the TV is not satisfied, the Kana is not satisfied, the Lamang is not satisfied, even the Hausa Fulani is not satisfied. It is my view that the silent majority are angling to extricate themselves from the contraption called Nigeria. It is obvious that every ethnic group wants to deliverance from the bondage called Nigeria. It is evident that no one believes in the Guamaya called Nigeria. None of us has any emotional connection to the country called Nigeria. It is not ours. It is not our making. It does not belong to us. And no one wants it. Nigeria is not a nation. It is a country of nations. This component nation desire to be independent nation states. A country or a nation, for the purpose for its context, is more than the physical buildings. It is more than a beautiful capital territory. It is more than the existence of powerful armed forces. It is more than a government that controls. A nation to exist has to be ingrained in the physique of its citizens. There has to be that emotional connection. It has to run as blood in the veins of, and marrow in the bones of those who subscribe to it. A nation is that consummated, indescribable feelings that command the unalloyed love, permeated with buoyant affection and infused with unsolicited loyalty of those who subscribe to it. A nation is that which is patently invisible but translucently obvious and recurrent in the gliding waves of the sea of subconsciousness of its people. This is not the case with Nigeria. We all have nothing in common. Our aspirations are different, our hopes are different, our dreams are different, our primordial attachment is very strong. No one likes to be dominated. No one likes to be in bondage. No one likes to be enslaved. No one likes it when others take advantage of him or her people. We are all ethnic jingoists. Yet we are unwilling to accept it. We are all in denial. We all pretend to be Nigerian lovers, when indeed we all hate Nigeria. Our ethnic group is where we derive our identity. It is where we derive our worldview. It is where we derive and form our character. It is what describes us as human beings. It is the kernel of our authenticity. It is what makes us unique. It is what makes us special. As I wrote elsewhere, a Yoruba man anywhere in the world would do his best to raise his children in Yoruba ways. An Ijaw man would do the same. An Igbo man would do the same. An Efik man would do the same. A Kanuri man would do the same. A Momoye man would do the same. An Edo man would do the same. Every man would do the same. None of us will raise his child as a Nigerian. This is because Nigeria does not exist in our consciousness. It is not in our physique. There is no emotional connection. There is no cultural connection. There is no identity connection. There is no sense of belonging of any sort. It is noteworthy that those mouthing one Nigeria are those benefiting from the tragedy represented by Nigeria. Those who are advocating that Nigeria remains one are doing so not because they love Nigeria, but because they love their pockets. They are the ones who get the big contract and refuse to execute them. They are the ones who appeal to the primordial sentiment when they lose out in the struggle for the loot. They are the ones who mouth national unity when they get inflated contract. They are the ones who have no regard for their own people back in their communities. They are the ones who care less for the sufferings of the poor. They are the ones who live ostentatiously and flaunt their wealth to make poor people envious. They are the ones who are quick to point to their friends in other ethnic groups as if when Nigerians will break up, that friendship will cease. I have Ghanaian friends, I have Togolese friends, I have Senegalese friends, I have Liberian friends, I have American friends, I have British friends. This does not mean that we have to be in the same country to remain friends. There are those who tout intermarriage as a reason Nigerians should remain one. This is balderdash. I know many Igbo who are married to Americans. I know many Yorubas who are married to German or British. I know many Ghanaians who are married to people from the geographical location called Nigeria. This does not mean that they necessarily have to come from the same country to remain married. It is my view that there would be better relationship among the people of the different nations of Nigeria if each were to control its destiny. It is my view that there would likely be more friendship across the new borders. There would likely be more marriages across the new borders. There would be less hostility across the new borders. There would be more geniality across the new borders. All we need is just to go for it and break up Nigeria. Nigeria is not a viable entity. It is a tragedy. It is a misnomer. It should cease to exist. We all have to go our different ways. This is more so because this is what we all want severally. We all do not want Nigeria. We all dissatisfied with Nigeria. Nigeria has betrayed us. Our hopes are dashed. Our dreams are unrealizable within the Nigerian structure. Those who work hard in penury, those who lands are producing the resources are in poverty. Nigeria deprives those who value education. Nigeria impedes those who value cattle rearing. Nigeria constricts those who want to be international businessmen. Nigeria is rebuffing those who want to make Arabic education a priority. Nigeria is holding back those who want to jump into the age of technology. Nigeria is denying those who want Sharia law. Nigeria is depriving those who want a secular state. Nigeria is impeding those who want merit. Nigeria is humiliating those who value integrity. Nigeria is disgracing those who want self-respect and dignity. Nigeria incubates crime and criminals. Nigeria is lawless. Nigeria encourages uncountness. Nigeria encourages abuse of elders. It disparages the youth. It undermines our age-long traditions. I am not a religious person. I hate churches. I loot mosques. But something nudges me about the existence of the Supreme Being. Though I am not sure about this, I am willing to entertain myself with the thoughts of such. To this extent, I am declaring that I have the proof that Nigeria exists against the will of Eledumare. I do not know about the Jewish Yahweh. I do not know about the Christian God. I do not know about the Islamic Allah. But I know that the Eledumare of Yoruba people is not deaf. He does not wait for 60 years without responding to supplications as a Christian God and Islamic Allah have obviously done. The Yoruba Eledumare is swift and effective. We have abandoned our roots. We have abandoned our forefathers. We have abandoned our ways. We have abandoned our identities. We go around in borrowed ropes. We are following the wrong faiths. This is why the prayers would never avail Nigeria. Why, for example, should the Ogonis remain in Nigeria when they are bigger than 22 countries represented in the United Nations in terms of population? Why? After all, there is a country, Monaco, represented in the United Nations, which size is just a 1 square mile. Then talk about the Edo nation, talk about the Efik nation, talk about the Igbo nation, talk about the TV nation, talk about the Nupe nation, talk about the Yoruba nation, talk about the Hausa Fulani nation among many other nations chained together in bondage and subjugation in Nigeria Maisma. Why do we all choose to believe the lies that Nigeria cannot break into as many countries as the people of the presented geographical location called Nigeria wants? The Hausa Fulani should consciously seek their freedom from this miserable Nigeria. They could go do it all alone. If Burkina Faso and Niger Republic could survive, the Hausa Fulani could survive too. The Kataf needs to be free from Nigeria. The Igbo have to be free from Nigeria. The Ijaw have to be emancipated from Nigeria. The Yoruba have to extricate from Nigeria. The Edo have to disentangle from Nigeria. The Efik must seek freedom from the Nigeria burden. The TVs should throw off the yoke of Nigeria. We all must work together to consign Nigeria to the dustbin of history. It is Nigeria's destiny. It must break up. If Nigeria breaks up, it would increase the competition among all of us. Those who want to move fast to develop would do so. Those who want to slow down would do so. Those who want Sharia would move to adopt it. Those who want to be an extension of the Vatican City could do so. Those who want to educate their citizens could do so. Those who want to rear cattle would do so. Those who love Osama bin Laden could follow him. Those who want a Taliban-dominated nation will have the freedom to do so. The Yoruba nation is saddled with the government in its loots. The Yoruba nation is prevented from following its vision. The Yoruba nation is impeded with the pursuit of its dreams. The Yoruba nation is made to abandon its true character under duress. The Yoruba nation is made to denounce its true self under the threat of economic and political annihilation. The Yoruba nation has had its fabric torn to tatter. All this have been possible because the Yoruba nation is chained to the tragedy called Nigeria. We all want to have our nation state where we can hold people accountable. We need to do away with the protective evil umbrella that Nigeria spreads over the evildoers in our respective nations. We ought to stop pretending that we want Nigeria. Nigeria must break up. We all need to work towards this. It is the best option available. I know breaking up Nigeria is a titanic task. I know most people are afraid to express this truism. I know most people are scared to contemplate this reality, but I am convinced that this is the destiny of Nigeria. I know that those benefiting from the Nigerian misery would resist, but we have to take a cue from Calvin Coolidge to be persistent and determined. I call on the nations of Nigeria to begin their liberation from the Lord Lugard's contraption. The destiny of Nigeria is freedom of all nations subjugated under its misnomer. Nigeria can never give us peace. It must break into pieces. It is Nigeria's destiny. It is a long history of the world. Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcomed it. John F. Kennedy, January 20, 1960. So, guys, this is the news in details, and you have just heard where this man is coming from, and where he's going to. And if we have to consider what this man has just stated here, it is a very factual, obvious statement that Nigeria is not one. But you see, I don't want to make so much comment on this. I just want to read to your hearings, and so that you can give your opinions, what you think about his submission on Nigeria's breaking up. So let's meet in my comment section below. Let me read from you. I want to hear your opinions. Let's see how many people is ready to leave Nigeria. How many people still want Nigeria? Because as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria is full of impunity, injustices, atrocities every day, corruption everywhere, killing of innocent people every day, mayhem, tribulations, and it's as if It's just a crime for you to be in Nigeria. You know, carrying your passport alone to some countries in the world, you are the least person to be recognized. All because you are a Nigerian. You have never committed any crime or any offense, but because you have tendered your Nigerian passport in some embassies, in some companies, you are going to seek for job. For job, you are the least person they will employ in that company. Not because you have offended anybody before, not because you slapped the boss of the company, but because you are carrying a Nigerian passport. So, if our identity as a Nigerian will always bring problem to our lives, then why are we pretending as if everything is okay when we obviously know it is not well? You know? So I don't want to make much comment on this statement or this man's submission, but I want to hear your opinions. So let's meet in my comment section. Drop your comment, share this message as wide as you can. So, and don't forget to give a thumbs up for this video. And please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so now. I beg you in the name of God. It is very important and it costs you nothing. Just click on the red subscription button and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. And as you're doing so, may God Almighty bless you rich good. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and bye.